Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Grand Rising. Buenos dias, aloha, and say word. I'm going to say word to y'all today. Say word. Okay, so first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell y'all something, sun rays. When y'all don't see me up in here and on here by 7:10, yeah, 7:05 to 7:10. The latest that I try to, bug y'all as far as when I'm getting on is I've seen it been like 7:12, 7:13, but 7:20, that's my mama number. But 7:20, I 7:20 kind of late. But again, good morning, Grand Rising, Buenos dias, aloha, and get your ass up. Y'all, I'm still gonna go back to say word. Y'all didn't call me. What's going on? Hi. Good morning. Okay. Look, they used to say to that girl from was it Monsters Incorporated? Is this thing going? So again, good morning. Good Wednesday. Yeah. We came on here today. Talk about pet peeves. That should have been one that I just Okay. So, like I say, welcome to the world of Wednesday. Yeah. So, on today, I wanted to talk about pet peeves, right? One of y'all pet peeves should be, where was she at 7:05, 7:10? That's, yeah. Because, morning sun rays. So, again, today I wanted to talk about pet peeves. And it's funny because when I was talking about it, somebody was like, "Ooh, please write this down." So we all have pet peeves, right? We all have things that just like send us to like the next level. I'm one of those type of people that I try not to, we had this discussion, you try not to let things like drive your day or anchor your boat. We try. Sometimes we can't help that, right? But I want to talk about pet peeves today. Like, what are some things that people do and just be sending you to like the next realm, right? And then, like, and sometimes people do things, especially when they know it bothers you, and they'll keep doing it. Look at this. Look like this. Why? That's one of the things why. And there's, if you gotta be doing all of that, just wait. Just wait for it to cool off. Why are you doing that? Yeah. One thing, because this okay. When you standing in line, let's say you at a store, you've been in the line for about 10, 15 minutes. You've been standing in the line. Then you get that one person that come in the door. They just got there, just got on the back of the line, and they, oh my God. You just got here. You don't even have seniority in the store at this point. You're not even on the line, really. How you beefing? Can you be quiet, please? Just go stand in your prospective place at the end of the line. The other thing, so these are more or less like things that I'm sure bothers the majority of people People just decide not to say things because they just don't. But this is the perfect forum, right? When we wearing flip-flops, I call them flip-flops, and I'm tell you why in a minute. But when you're wearing flip-flops, sandals, anything where you have the feet part and it's not enclosed, so it have a little bit of room to be on the outside of the perimeter of the shoe, that means that the shoe is too small, right? So when you're wearing them kind of shoes and the foot hanging off the back, isn't that painful? Much less being a pet peeve. Isn't that painful? I know anything that be sticking in the middle of my foot or sticking on the end of my foot, them heel parts, that's very painful. So why are your shoes so small? The heels off the back or the toe, or it's either the heels off the back or that gorilla scraping toes on the concrete in the front. Why? Morning. Why? If you a 10, buy a 10. If you a 9, buy a 9. And when you go into the stores and you a 9 and a 10 and they don't have that, all they got is an 8.5, let the people that wear 8s and 8.5 get them. You look crazy with the feet hanging off the back of them shoes and off the front. Like, who holding on? You know when the toes be holding on to the shoe. Remember that song? Holding on. The toes be holding on. Like, why? Why are you doing that? But people, now, I will say, because you know she always got, I will say, a lot of people that be struggling, holding on the shoes and the feet, they be having strong, they be having strong legs. That's because you be doing so much to try to hold the shoes on the feet. It's the extra muscles that you're using. So a lot of them got strong legs and toes too. They got strong legs and toes. and they too don't have strappy shoe feet. Yeah, they too don't have strappy shoe feet. Okay. A lot of people don't like this. I do it, but I do it in I know, Train, you know I got to get it in. I'm going in. It's Wednesday. I was late. That's what I was going to say. My pet peeve was with y'all not texting me or calling me going, excuse me, miss. What's popping? Yeah. This is one of the things that people hate. I do it, but I'm not doing it. I don't know. I don't do it to annoy people. So I'll say that. I do it sometimes when I'm in my little bag, right? And that's this. Yo, people hate that. Back in the days, people couldn't even get that together, right? That's almost like popping that gum. Little girl, if you don't stop popping that gum. Yo, my friend can't say. He said, I don't even like watching people chew gum. Like, he does not. Could you imagine you sitting around somebody and everything is good, everybody laughing, kiki playing, and you stick that piece of gum in your mouth and the attitude is instant. You think you did something, and all you did was try to freshen up your breath. Yeah, a lot of people don't like chewing gum. Or the popping of the gum. Stop popping that gum. A lot of people don't like that. I have an aunt who used to again, when I was younger, I was a little healthier, right? I'm getting back though. I'm getting it back though, right? I was a little healthier. So anytime that anybody would make any sayings about being big or being, I'm going to say P-H-A-T, I'm not going to use the F this morning, right? They'd say big, I would get offended. So my aunt used to say stuff like, why are you plodding around the house? Now, again, I'm not, plodding is usually something that like horses and all that. So to tell me, oh, wait, is that it, Kim? Is Is that the noise that you can't stand? Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that. Morning, sis. It depends. If it's here I go with my foolishness. If it's my ears and the throat, you'll get that noise. But just yeah, I have a girlfriend that does this a lot, and I had to realize to myself how annoying. Like, could you get a toothpick, boo? Could you use your fingers or something? That I can't. Why? And the thing is, after the first couple of swishes, when you don't get it out, guess what? It ain't coming out. Get a toothpick. Find something. Now, usually you'll find something like a piece of paper. Now, the paper gonna get wet and stuck in between the teeth, and then you're gonna be trying to find something else to pick it out with. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we all don't travel with toothpicks and stuff, but right. And dragging the feet. I used to work with this man. Shout out to Bill. Oh my God, he was the illest. He used to come to work. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. But there was this older white guy that I used to work with by the name of Bill. Sometime. This is another reason why one of those things I be telling y'all all the time about judging books by their cover. Yeah, so he wasn't, okay, extremely smart, entertaining if he liked you. Certain things he just wasn't, like, into. Again, this is me. That's like how that lady tried to tell me what I was, right? Just based upon a conversation that I was having with somebody. And I tried to do the same thing with this man. They set me straight. They put it together for me. So with this particular man, like I said, very smart individual, but he wasn't the cleanliest, I'll say that. One day, good morning. So one day he comes to work and he's talking, and something that I said, and he said, yeah, save that for the Apollo. Y'all know I wanted to, ooh, and then the first thing out of me was, oh, because again, y'all, you already know, in the climate that we live in, I shouldn't, and again, like I say, with the family and the friends that I have, I shouldn't, but I automatically turned into, oh, that's what we doing here. Say word. I will always be a say word person. That's what we doing now, because that sounds a little racist to me, right? You got a black wife, so yeah. So I play quarter. I tried it though. No, he was just saying exactly what he meant. Save your act for the Apollo. I wonder if he talked to his wife like that. She probably would beat him half to death, but yeah. But I was under the, girl, sometimes you gotta, ooh. And I would, like I said, I was getting ready to go there. But one of his things was anytime, and like he complained about so many things, like everything was his pet peeve. And one of his things was the dragging the feet. And if you have one like the I call them flip-flips, right? Sometime. Flip-flips. Anybody that put on a pair of anything that, you know, you got the toes out and you keep the front of the shoe could possibly do like the flip, they call flip-flips. Do you know how many times we've almost killed ourselves with a flip-flip? Listen, flip, and then that thing turn. Child. That's why you got to pick up your feet. You can't do the dragging the feet when you in flip-flips. Flip-flips will have you killed. Flip-flips will kill you. I'm telling you. You know how many times Think about how many times you had on a pair of flip-flops and that top came down and you almost killed yourself. Flip, 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 flip. Yeah, yeah. No, it don't have to. Listen, let me tell you something. Oh, no, no, no. My dad buy Jordans. Everything. Remember I told y'all the other day, it don't matter who. You could pay top dollar. It still flip. Yeah, my father's a Jordan guy. He's in the hospital now. Yeah. So I ain't gonna hold you. Now don't get me wrong, them dollar old navies that have you all slinged up somewhere too. But yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, any type of flip-flop, is dangerous. And my best buster, this is dangerous. Yeah. Them flip-flops will do it every time. Yeah, that dragging of the feet is crazy. This is another thing that bothers me. It's almost like a pet peeve, only because I have an extremely loud voice when I want to be loud, right? So because my voice is loud, because it's deep and heavy, when I go certain places, I try not to talk loud because my voice carries. When I'm with people that talk and they talking loud or they cussing loud, that bothers me to no not end. Only because not only the people here at the table got to hear what you're talking about, but everybody all over the place now is hearing what you're talking about. That's the life. Cheap shoe move, you see. Bernadette. Look, Bernadette. Bernadette. Okay, y'all. So let's go here. See, y'all with these shoes, and you know already, I always got a shoe story. I was on the bus. I think I told y'all this before. I was on the bus one day. My feet were hurting. This was one of them days I didn't check my shoes before I left the house, and they was kind of dry rotted. Before I left my house, they was cream, nice, pretty cream sandals. By lunchtime, nice, pretty cream boots. By lunchtime, they were cow print because they was falling apart. Oh yeah, girl, this one right here gonna get you. Watch. So everybody, remember when they bought out? I'm trying to think of what year it was. So 2007, 2008, I'm gonna go with, but don't. Remember when they brought out the Chinese sandals? Not ours, from back when we liked them. Yo, those used to be the joint. You'll kill yourself if the floor was wet though, trying to jump double dutch in them Chinese slippers. But these were the ones with the little net and the flowers with the applique, the net with the flowers, right? How about who wears those kind of shoes with stockings? Who wear flip-flops and stockings? Well, those kind of slide-on shoes with stockings. Yes. I used to get mad about seeing the babies. That's one thing. I don't like seeing babies in anything that doesn't support their feet and ankles. And when them good shoes came out, there were some people that had their babies in every color. Every single color of them little flip-flops. Excuse me, the Chinese slippers. Give them a chance to get their ankles straight and their feet together before you start doing all that. I digress. Anyway. So I had them little mesh, the mess ones. No, they was a mess. I took mess. I'd rather mess than mesh, right? The mess. The bedazzled mess. I'll say that. So again, my feet was crazy. Had these shoes on. Had stockings on because I had a dress on that day. Couldn't keep the shoes on that I had on. Told you there was a problem. Fine. I gets on the bus. I'm standing on the bus. I'm struggling, struggling to hold on to the pole in these slippers with my stockings. And I'm just, as the bus is going, anytime the bus stop, I'm sliding in my shoes, right? Because there is no grip. There is no grip with stockings. My toes didn't even have the opportunity to come out the shoes and grab the floor or grab the side of the sand. Nothing. I didn't, nothing, right? So the bus driver, I told you, I know he was watching me in the rearview mirror and seeing how I was having so much problems trying to hold on with these stackings and the slippers on the bus. Long story short, he made a short stop. I know he did it on purpose, y'all. He made a short stop, the short turn. I told you I did the little swing around the pole and landed in the man's lap. Yeah. I told him I'm sorry. He said, hey, no worries, man. This is one of the best bus rides I ever had. Yeah. So, needless to say, one of our pet peeves is we not wearing slippers and stockings. I almost killed my damn self. And on top of killing myself, I gave some man a lap dance. I didn't get 5 cents, 10 cents, nothing. I got a lot of laughs, though. I wasn't looking for them then. I wasn't in the mood for the comedy show that I was putting on at that moment. Yeah, that wasn't hot. So yeah, we got to be careful when we wear certain things, because wearing certain things are definitely embarrassing. Rated E for embarrassing. Another thing that I can't stand, a pet peeve. And a lot of people do it, and I'm sure y'all know. This. Ooh, that girl right there. Ooh, that right there. Ooh, that. Why are you pointing? Oh, P.S. My father's a grown-ass man. And he do that I told him, I said, stop, don't do that. That's offensive. Again, things that was okay back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s is offensive now. He was looking at somebody's sneakers and he pointing and pointing. Young people they're not as receptive to points. Yeah. Instead of being like, oh, everything good, or, everything okay, or hey, how you doing? The first thing most people do is go to what the, So I told my father, stop pointing. Even if you like their sneakers could be the top of the line. Stop pointing, just look. Or maybe do something like this. Bow the head down so I don't know to look at the feet or something. But the point, let's stop that. Let's not do that. Of course, and if you're driving, how you're two things. It's not a pet peeve, I don't think, but it does seem like it always happens to when you going right here. Oh, child, the tag, please, the tag hanging out the collar. When you move and you in the car and you move to this lane, and that lane start moving faster, that be killing me. That's not a pet peeve, that just be killing me. That's office space. And then the pet peeve about that is, I move over here, you was up there, you was driving slow, you see me coming, I'm driving faster, now you move over to this faster lane and drive slow in front of me. Why? Why are you driving slow in front of me? You was just over there driving slow. Could you move, please? Could you move and get out the way? Get out the way, please. Get out the way. I'm being nice this morning. I wasn't using cuss words. Another thing, and I'm sure this bothers you guys too. I put this up on the internet a long time ago. Spelling. spelling. So let's start from the basics, right? There was a song, very picky about how her name's pronounced. Ooh, fly girl, psh, fly girl, psh, fly girl, psh, fly girl, psh, fly girl. Yeah, my name is Sonia, Sonja. Not Sanji, not Sonja, not Sunji, Sanjay. They used to demand, the manager in Maryland used to call me Sanjay. Sanjay. I can see where you're going with that, but and when I write my name on a piece of paper, I know how my name is spelled. I've seen it all my life. I need you to correct it. Don't correct my stuff. Why? Yes. Yes. Yeah, they add that A. Now, one thing two people, some people get offended, right? When you, okay. Some people don't like shortening names, right? Some people don't like, right? Liza, Liza, Lisa, Lisa, please. Hi, Christina. Where did A come from? When did it convert? Yeah, when did it convert? One thing that people have been calling me and it's crazy. When I tell y'all, it's crazy. Because there are so many people that I've met throughout my life. Shout out to Michonne, right? One of my nicknames is Simone. Do not ask me how I got that name. I don't know where that name came from. It just seems like most people that meet me, I'll tell them my name is Sonia. They'll see me again at some later date and they'll go, Simone, right? Yeah. So it's crazy, but yeah, everybody does that. So I stick with there's 1,001 names that I have, but as far as that's concerned, I try to go along with what the people say until it's like, all right, my name is Sonia. Let's not do that. Let's not. And that's why sometimes I allow people to call me nicknames, so this way you don't get it confused. I don't want nobody change it. Like, do you know how many times I've been in school or been someplace and filled out an application, how they erase your stuff? Correct. You Mills, you don't even know what you're talking about. Look, you Mills, you don't know what you're talking about. JKMN is pronounced Noel. I can't. I swear. Let me see. Yeah, it's so many people. Yes, you're correct. That's why I told you somebody gonna name their child. Somebody gonna name their kid in a minute. Apganafty, Jekyll, Banasti, Stewartses, and y'all gonna know exactly what that is. Y'all gonna be like, you know what? Sonya was on to something. Cause somebody gonna do it. We all know somebody in this good world is gonna decide that that's gonna be one of the best things to do. Fill out all the little boxes on the thing. The kid gonna have so many boxes in their name. You know, the little boxes that you fill out for something, they ain't even gonna have enough. Cause the last name gonna be something wild too. Oh, this is another thing. It's a pet peeve of mine, and it's something that I can't stand, but I do it myself, and I have to stop. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do it too. When we go into, so let's start here, right? Every room in your house has a purpose. Every room in your home has a job. When you go to businesses, when you go to any place, every room in that business has a job. Most places have a bathroom, right? Like I said, I don't like it, but I do it. And again, it's about pet peeves and certain things that just send us to like, remember I told you about that tea kettle. When you go into a bathroom, anybody, like I said, guilty, we go into the bathroom and be like, oh my God, it's stinking here. Oh my God, like, why is it? Okay, first of all, it's a bathroom. Okay? It's not Sephora. And guess what? It is a form of body works, but not bath and body works. So why are we going into the bathroom, the relief room, and back in the days they used to call it the can or the shitter, and think it's supposed to smell like roses? I'm confused with that. But again, I'm guilty. I be in there mad. Why is this? Oh my God! You need to drink some water. That be me. You need water. Everybody need water. Sips coffee, right? Like, why do we do that? Another pet peeve or problem I have is, we discussed this before. If the sink, say it again, if the sink is clean and ain't no dishes in there, should I say anything else? It shouldn't be nothing in there. Not a fork, not a spoon. And when you the first person that puts something in there, why you don't wash it? That starts like an avalanche of things. You don't think about that. The first person that puts something in that sink, everything else start coming. Before you know it, the sink all piled up and there was nothing in there, it was clean. Yeah. I was very good with the way my sons are. They know how to, they put seats down. Always been like that. Yeah, I guess that was something. I know my mom, when I was younger, God bless her, I know my mom fell in once or twice. So I know with my older one, that was something that she kind of instilled. And as he got older, yeah, and then the youngest one, he's I would say more or less a germaphobe in a way. So certain things he'll do because, you know, the germs, but yeah. The other thing is, like, if you are, some people do this because a lot of times you have to, you're trying to do two things at one time, right? It's not a pet peeve. I just never understood it, I guess, right? If you have a double sinks are easy to function, right? You got one where you washing, one where you rinsing, and what's in it. But when you have that one sink, you washing the dishes, do you keep the water running? You're using a bunch of dish detergent because you're going to keep putting it on the sponge more because you're rinsing it. You're not keeping everything. Yeah, that kills me. You running all that, why are you wasting all that water? And you wasting the good detergent. Yeah, like that, I don't. The other thing is staring. What is that? And so let me ask y'all, Because I was always one of the parents that paid attention to my children. Always. Always paid attention to my kids. I might not have been the best parent that was always around as far as, because I was working. But when I was around my kids, I was paying attention to what my kids was doing. I always made sure that I kept my eye. I didn't have the biggie. Biggie. Oh, that's another one too. Yes, that's another one too. I wasn't watching you and watching them at the same time, but I was paying attention to my child, my kids. I know. Biggie. That's Biggie. That I loved him. I mean, a good rapper. Made me cry when he first came out, but yeah. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. No. But when my kids would stare at people or be looking at something too long, I would, you tap them. Yeah. Or, what's going on? Don't do that. That is extremely rude. Extremely rude. Why is it that people don't pay attention to what their kids are doing? That's another thing. That. There's so many things that be bothering me about what other people do. That's why I had to take a step back and go, everything can't bother you. So, laugh. Set it off on the left, on the right. Yeah. What's now? Look, what now? Okay, we're not doing that. So, as far as things bothering you, right? You see how remember I told you, the smallest things, take me and us to the next universe. We can't let those things bother us. That's the whole thing. Pet peeves are just like, remember I was talking about that poke. Sometimes we just gotta let it be. From the beginning, from the top of the week, that song was, you gotta live and let die. You gotta just let this. Because what you gonna do, Hammer? And then sometimes you have to realize too, when people know things bother you, they'll continue to do it. Like I say, that popping that gum, a lot of people just clack. I have another girlfriend. I have a girlfriend that used to do the shit on purpose because she knew that bothered people. And when I met her, that was one of the first things she said. She said, "Oh, I definitely pops the gum," and said it like that. I definitely pops the gum, and wait for somebody to ask me not to, so I can do it harder, or ask me to stop, so I can pop it some more. She was one of those. I love her. I love her. Just as sarcastic and, So again, we have to think about some of these things that we let bother us, right? And think, is it really worth it? Like, is it worth that short period of time of the high pressure? Is it worth it? We can't let things bother us, even those small, minute things, because remember I told you, sometimes those little things that pile up and then get you to... Remember I told you about poor Ann at the... Mary... Was it Anna? Ann. Poor Ann at the office is going to be the one to get it. And that's only because we let everything kind of pile up. Little things. And like I said, these are just like pet peeves. These are things that sometimes people just can't, you know what I'm saying? One thing, when a person is wearing glasses and their glasses are filthy. Why? I can't see when my glasses is clean some of the time. That's my prescription. So how can you see through filth? What are y'all doing? One of the things with kids, babies and children, Most kids nose run, right? The peeve for me is the kid nose running and the parent just don't nothing. You out here Roscoe Jenkins and the parents nothing. The crazy thing is I used to call my kid Roscoe. I know, you know, when you think about a lot of the stuff that you said or that you did, you be like, well, damn, like, for real? As soon as his nose started running, I was like, yo, you can't get that, Roscoe? You get that. And he would look at me like, yeah. So, listen, and it wasn't even Jenkins. He wasn't even Roscoe Jenkins. He was just Roscoe. And in case you don't know, Roscoe is the little boy Martin Lawrence show. He played a boy named Roscoe. And Roscoe always nose running and always knocking on somebody's door and just as grown. But you can't even wipe your nose. Yeah. Look, you grown, but you can't even clean your nose. Yeah. So, yeah, Roscoe used to be the illest. So that kills me. Another thing is, it's cold outside. You got on a jacket, maybe a glove, a hat, and your child out here in spring and summer clothes and it's cold outside. What's that? How was cold out here and your child don't have no clothes on? I don't get that. The next pet peeve, problem. Some families, it got to be a family affair to do a lot of stuff, right? We going to the doctor. You got the baby, the mommy, the poppy, the grandmother, the grandfather, the great-grands, the cousins, the uncles, the TTs. Why everybody got to be with the why? I know that some of the officers were so happy when COVID happened so they could say no, just whoever the patient is and whoever need to be with the patient. Everything is not a family affair. Ooh, girl, them sagging the drawers. I don't want to see your dirty drawers. Even if they're not dirty, I don't want to see your drawers. Yeah, I don't want to see yours. Yeah, I don't want to see your drawers. I have a problem with that. Definitely got a problem with that. I'm with you on that. And at one point, and see, how come sometimes, and this is again with them peeves, how come sometimes this goes back to how some things are okay? How come some things is okay and some things not? Now, where they said the sagging pants came from and what the meaning of saggy pants is, right? Some people took it and was like, oh yeah, nah, you're not going to have me like that. Oh yeah, nah, you're not going to be talking about me. Yeah, nah, I'm not that dude. But they still doing it. Right. But let's say that they buying the belt. They buying the belts and having the belts on. I seen the boy. The booty, so the front is pooped up. I don't know how that worked. The front is kind of pooped up, I guess, to cover the man dangling participles, right? So the front part is up, but the back part was underneath the booty, and he had a belt on. So I was wondering how that worked. With the belt on. She said it adjust the Okay, so how you got a belt on and your booty hanging out, and how you swing low, sweet chariot, and you should that. And this is what I be saying. So, talk to me, Sunrays. Where your friends? Where are our friends? Not us, cause we family, right? But where do these people friends be? Girl, we did camera souls. You see, I was still stockings, and that's why I almost killed myself on that good bus. But what happened? It's amazing. Excuse me, and it's everybody. Most people, oh, it's a certain, just as stupid. Yeah, it's a certain demographic. It's a certain people. It's a certain, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's foolishness. Foolishness. Ridiculousness. And that's nothing specific. Yeah, is that what that is? Is that what that is? Because, howdy eyes. Yeah, I think that's the wildest. So, I was just having that conversation last week. When was Christine here? Last week? Week before? We were just having that conversation because I said to her, I said, ooh, this dress, girl, God bless America. And she said, you can't see through it. Me, as blonde as I'm is, as blonde as I'm is, you know what it is. As blonde as I'm is, if I can see through it, everybody can see through it. So I had to wear the dress at nighttime. This way, it's no problems. That's crazy. Yes, it is. Now, isn't that enough? And that's enough. Yo, we've reduced ourselves to stuff like that. Like, so there's this, okay, I guess to say a lot of the things that I had issues with, or that I had like, not doubts, or my insecurities, things that I had insecurities about. I lived with those things, and I tried not to make it seem as though it was an insecurity, right? Because you have to walk in yourself, not in your, my son say your truth, but you walk in yourself, right? You know, you know what makes you tick, you know what makes you happy, you know what makes you sad, you know things that turn you, you know you, bottom line. And so with certain things, like I say, things that, like, for example, my legs were one of the things that when I was younger, I used to be like, oh yeah, nah, wearing them out and just having them all hanging, nah, I'll do something long, or pants, or, you know, just, no bunch of legs, right? And then I see people with legs like mine, bigger than mine, and yeah, and just out, legs. Their confidence was on 1,000 when it came to that. It took me a while to grow into it. I tell you, I got an aunt, shout out to my Aunt Linda. I got an aunt, her, like I said, when I was younger, she was what they called that brick shit house. Like, she was a bad man, jamma, right? And them legs. And my aunt used to wear the little shorts and them legs, right? But I don't believe that it was something that she was doing for a show. You understand what I'm saying? She was doing it because that was just her, right? It's summertime, it's hot, I don't want all these clothes on, and my legs is out. That's what she did it for. This here in the neck, This is what we reduce ourselves to. There's this lady, and again, I don't take nothing away from nobody. This is my niche right here. Fully clothed and talking shit. That's what I do. And remember I told y'all before, if you got it, flaunt it. I don't care how old you are. If you 70 and you got you a bad body, work it, mama. If you 80 and you out here doing it, do it. Don't let, see, people, again, I'm coming back because I was getting ready to go hot and to the left. Don't let people, if that's your niche and that's what you do, that's fine. But the peeve or what that I have with that is that what you were all along? Like, were you that type of person where you always had your legs out, or you always, had certain things about you that was just all out there like that? Or was it that one height? Split star or tails? Which one? Michael Bivens. I love you, Mike. Which one? Because Michael is a hype man too, in case y'all didn't know. But he's my hype guy, so don't do it, y'all. No, you don't. My grandmother called. My grandmother be like, Now she know that that's ridiculous. My grandmother used to call them big numbers. Oh, now she know that that's ridiculous because she's a big number. And she looked like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. You be like, yeah. Now, again, we're your friends. Where's your real mirror? And again, was you doing this all along? Like I said, there's this one lady that I don't know where she came from. I have no clue, like no clue. And she has tattoos on her thighs, and everything about this chick. That too. There is a girl, the lady that I'm with a lot of the times, and she says that all the time. If we go out someplace, and every place we go, you wearing whatever, and you tugging and pulling, and got to keep fixing, she don't want to go no place with you, and she's not going any place with you doing that. She refuses. That's a pet peeve for some people too. Right? If you have, there are a lot of people, who are extremely comfortable in their skin, right? But is it a case where you are, how can I say it? You're comfortable in your skin, but are you the type of person to where somebody else hyped you to do that? Because you could be comfortable in your skin and you wasn't doing that before. Like I said, was there a hype man? Who did that? Who told you that that was okay? Who said, yes, go ahead and get that. Go ahead, wear that dress. Go ahead, put on that skirt. Go ahead. Who told you that? And then told you, get on the internet and do it. Again, we're your friends. There are a lot of times that you put on something and it doesn't make sense. And you know it don't make sense because you've seen what you look like. The people that have the funhouse mirrors, right? I got a funhouse mirror right now. I ain't gonna lie. We all have funhouse mirrors. Girl. Okay. So, let's go here. And that's why I love you, Bernadette, because I talk about you a lot too with my mama. My mother was the type of person that she ain't going to talk behind your back. Never. That's where I get that from. Anything that I said behind your back, I've already said to your face. and probably more than one time. My mother used to be like, oh, she has a very nice shape. She got a very nice body. She got a very nice this, and she got... But what about the friend? Her friends didn't tell her that she shouldn't wear that. One time my mother was talking about the neighbor. I love her. Love you, Bernadette. Was talking about the neighbor and was saying about her butt. And then Bernadette said, I'm sitting right here, Miss Herron. You don't. She said, I know. And that's why I'm talking about you, with you sitting right here. Howdy eyes. Yeah. Yeah. So, somebody got to tell you. That's what she said. I am, but I'm not. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay. Yeah, she said, excuse me, Miss Big Butt. Yeah, you know how my mama was off the meat rack. Yeah. Where's our friends? Again, that's even with them 2 small shoes. Where your friends? Yeah. So, let's stop pointing. This right here, I'm getting ready to be doing that for the rest of the day. Oh, the funhouse mirrors. This is where I was going with that. Have y'all noticed now that none of the mirrors are right? When you look at yourself in a lot of these mirrors, I don't know if it's something about the like how it looks, like the reflection. It's sometimes you can look this big. That's birthday. That's birthday becoming of you. What is that? Probably very... Listen, my grandmother used to tell people, if that's what you want to look like. Right there, you already knew, for real. She said, yeah, that's what you want to look like. Wow. Wow. So, let me see. In my funhouse mirror. So, oh, you're taller in your thing. Yeah, usually taller and thinner. We all are. And it's crazy. Your clothes fit different. You look like a whole different person with them clothes on. A whole different person with them clothes on. And then when you go out there in the sunlight, no, for real, for real. Oh, okay. Okay. See, she said, no, not birthday. Okay, that's very becoming to you. Now, see, this is the thing, too. And this must have been for most of us, right? I was saying something the other day to last night, rather, to my son. And I had to think about some of the things that we say. It's a pet peeve, but not. We have to stop, like, my son had said something about a juice. He had asked me something about a juice, and I said, what? I said, boy, I'm a juice your ass. And then I had to think about it, right? I said some things to my kids, right? And that's a pet peeve of mine, too. We say some stuff. We don't think. We don't think before it come out. And I have to be a little bit more Yeah, just a little bit more. Be more careful. Be a little bit better than that. Because when I tell you, there's so many times I want to say stuff and I just go, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Because like I say, sometimes even us, remember I told y'all something this big, a pet peeve, something this big can turn into a production. Right? Yeah. So we have to learn. Again, with our children, like I said, my kids, I always watch them. I watch their eyes. When they looking at people and we're doing something too long, hey, what you doing? Oh, nothing. Okay, you got to distract them. With our friends and our family, especially the ones, like I say, if you got it, flaunt it. But if you don't, somebody should tell you. The pet peeve is, where your friends? Where's your friends, sweetie? Somebody should have said something. Oh. Never mind. How about this one? I got something about this too. My bad. What is my bad? What is my bad? What is that? Where did they get that from? My bad. I hate when people said that to me. To this day, you tell me my bad. I got an attitude. What is my bad? Yeah, there are certain things, like I said, certain sayings. Again, one of my pet peeves, it's not even a pet peeve, it's just like, to the window, to the what? Yo. That song. That song. That song. And when I was also I was saying about spelling, and then I wanted to go into context or content. When we so educated, you heard what I said. When we so educated, but the word that we using, we just putting it in the incorrect spot in the sentence. Or just using it improperly. But we so educated. Don't do it. Just use plain, regular, basic, everyday words. Unless it's somebody that you're really trying to offend, then at that point you just make sure that you're using the words properly so you don't look stupid. Now, yes, Kim, I will say something like, pardon the left. If I'm doing something and I know that it should be a right, and I'll say pardon the left, but that my bad, that phrase takes me to a, you send me, yeah, that right there. Like I say, certain saying, that's like lines. Certain sayings, just why. Yeah, just why? Why must you? Correct. My beautiful what? My beautiful book. My beautiful hair. My beautiful what? Correct. Oh, I've had to definitely tell people that, but we conversating. I said, no, we're conversing. And then everybody get quiet. Yeah. And like I said, if you don't know where something fits, belongs, that's like the cross. Fits, belongs, where it's supposed to be, don't use it. Why would you make yourself look more foolish? Yes. Mama, mommy, mom, bruh. So I went from, and again, remember, we were both young, but I went from Sonia, because I was Sonia first. I was Sonia. I was initially Sonia. He called me Sonia because everybody else in my house called me that. I love that. We gonna use that. You're a looser. You're a tighter. I love it. I love it. Bruh, I can't. He said he didn't laugh. No, because at that point you probably made him feel like a grain of salt. You know, people, once they know that they've been played, once they know that quarter's been dropped, once you drop that quarter, they mad. They mad because their game is over. Your game has just begun and they game over. That's why. That's why. My boy calls me son. My oldest boy. My youngest one don't do that. He's straight mom. Mom. Mother. He's a mom or mother, the younger one. That older one be like, son. I can't. She said, yeah, you got something to say? Spell it. Spell it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I... Yeah, nah, I never... With people, it's sometimes you just... I just let... Like I say, I just let them live. You go ahead. And I want you to go out in the world, because a lot of times we know that you're foolish and we know that you sound ignorant, but you don't know that. And in that case, especially if we not supposed to be not peoples no more, I'm going to let you go out in the world and sound just as ignorant as you want and have the people laughing at you. Remember that song? Ain't no stopping us. No stopping. Yeah. Go ahead. I promise you I'm not gonna say nothing. I want you to go out there and be just as the bestest that you can be. Come on, son. Come on, son. That's why at the top of the live I came in with say word. Nobody was looking for me. It was mad late. Yup. That's my pet peeve. I was late and nobody came to look. Where was my friends? It's all right though. That was my bad. My bad. Something I hate. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up. But yeah, so what I was saying before about certain things, pet peeves or things that bother us, right? We have to mow better. Ooh, mow better. Now, at one point, right, things used to, I laugh, joke, and play with the masses, like I said. So let's go here. I'm going to say it in a joking manner, but I'm dead serious, right? I am a highly intelligent woman. I am highly educated. I like to play. And a lot of times, it does sound a little ignorant, right? A lot of times it seems a little not so educated. But guess what? It is what it is. I'm not here for my bachelor's. I'm not here to get my doctorate. I'm here to make y'all laugh. That's what I'm here for. So there might be some times, possibly there might be some times that he might have trademarked that. I don't know now. That's a good question. You best believe it. Yeah, we when it comes to certain things, what I want us to learn to do, like I said, is first, those pet peeves, just let them be that and not something that's going to fuel. Remember, As soon as you notice that you're getting angry about certain things, we got to kind of bring it down, because something so minute or something so small shouldn't get us or take us, right? Remember, I told you, nobody that's on your insurance, and even if they on your insurance, you don't have to let them drive. But you do it on purpose, right? Right. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. So when I tell y'all what we have to do from now on is especially when it comes to the small things. In my best, what her name is, Dionne Warwick. Walk on by. Just let it go. You can't. There's too many other things that's driving us to the grave, right? There's too many things that's pushing our buttons. There's too many things that's making us feel crazy. Some things we can control. Things that we do the small things that we let bother us are things that we can control, and we have to make sure that, remember I say, sometimes those little things turn into bigger things, and we let that bother us. We let those small things bother us more than, like I said, the huge things that should be like weighing. In a way, that is a good thing, because that means, again, I am a conqueror. I am a survivor. She said, I'm miracle. Right? So I am a conqueror. I am a survivor. I have, listen, and we all have done that. We all can say that there are things that we've overcome. In my best, Martin Luther the King. So these, like I say, these small things, these pet peeves. Again, you could go ahead and have your feet hanging off the back of them shoes, right? Go ahead. It bothers me to know not in, but you the one that's getting ready to have that line and that pain in your foot for the shoes being too small. And never mind that, they're gonna be dirty hanging off the back or the front. Right? Them churn that staring. Stare back. Sometimes you might have to, just, and then the parent would be watching their kid like, why is this person looking at my child? Because your child's looking at me. I told you these two kids was on the bus one day and they kept looking at me, and now I'm getting angry because I'm looking at the mother, and I'm like, if that was me, I'd have been and checked my kids. And then the lady was saying, oh, it's because you're very pretty and this and this and this. And yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it, but that's rude. Yeah, I don't care what you say. You could fix it up any way you want to. As I was telling this lady yesterday, when you zhuzh it up, you can zhuzh it up as much as you want. It's still salad. You got lettuce, you got all of them things, and there's still salad. And lettuce, my grandmother used to call it lettuce and tomatoes. What is a tomato? What is a tomato? Yeah. So, yeah, you could dress it up as much as you want. It's still a salad. And with these kids, we have to, like I said, I never let my children stare at people. I think that is the rudest thing ever. I wouldn't care if it was an Adonis or a goddess. You don't let your children stare at people. Because again, when people be staring back at your kids, you be ready to get it in. Like I said, people coming in the store. When you get in the store, you see the line is long, you got to wait like everybody else. Ain't no need for you to talk about how long you've been on the line and you can't believe the line is that long. Sweetie, you just got here. Like I said, you don't even have seniority. You just walked in the store. You can wait like everybody else. Right? Going back again. The bathroom. The bathroom is for Body Works. It's not Victoria's Secret. It's secrets being there, but it's not Victoria's Secret. And it ain't supposed to smell. That's why they had the Tidy Bowl Man and Mr. Clean and Spray. Yeah, because it's not Sephora. It's not. So when you go in the bathroom and it stink, the bathroom did its job, and so did the person that went in there to make it stink. Again, I am guilty. Dang, it's stinking here. It's the bathroom. Yeah. Sometimes in public places, people don't courtesy flush in a public place. Yeah. They figure if you want your own air, tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. They probably feel if you want your own air, that you should be home, or, word salads. Yeah. The people know they crazy, child. The people know they crazy. Yeah. So what was the other thing? Okay, and like I said, the popping gum. I used to be good with that when all the chompers was together. I was good to clack, clack, clack. I told you had a girlfriend that used to do that all the time. And shout out again, another story about Miss Monroe. God bless her. She was another one hated. I talked about how the other day lady I used to work with, she hated gum. She hated it. She couldn't stand it. As soon as she see you put a piece of gum in your mouth, she had an attitude. Her and this other lady didn't work on the job. As soon as they see somebody with gum, they, oh God. Because they already knew, and especially if it was somebody that did the clacking, clack, clack, clack. But for all you poppers that do it, keep popping. Pop forever. Pop for me, because I can't do it no more. They be like, oh, that means you got holes in your teeth. No, it just knows that just means that you know how to collect a certain amount of air into the gum and make it bubble. That's what that is. People don't understand. It's a science to it, just like whistling or anything else. It's a science to that gum popping. Stop popping that gum. And like I say in this, look at that. Look at those. Who is that? Who? Oh, you know something else that bothers me? If you on a phone. Or even if you're not on the phone. Or you get a phone call and somebody goes, who's that? Who you talking to? Your phone's ringing and somebody goes, is that your phone ringing? You know it ain't your phone. Who you talking to? Why? Okay, saying nothing is wrong when something is wrong, that's a problem. But you know what, like I was saying yesterday, because that was yesterday, right? Nope, that was the other day. Some people don't like to talk about what's wrong when it's wrong because they can't get it out. Some people don't want to take out on you what's wrong with them. Some people don't want their weakness to be shown. So if I know that there's something that's going to make me cry and you keep asking me what's wrong, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong. Instead of crying, I'm going to wind up getting mad because now you're trying to force a situation. That makes the situation worse for that other person. So that's the only thing. Ooh, I know somebody that as soon as they did the clack, their mother used to be like, spit it out. And she would try not to, but it was a habit. As soon as clack, my mother would do just like this, spit it out. She said, but mommy, it was spit it out. And you could have just got the gum. Like, you know, when you first put that gum in your mouth and it still got the sugar, you still like, you could still rock it for a little while. Yeah, the mother didn't even get a chance to the flavor to leave the gum. Spit it out. Yeah, you can't, like I say, certain things, like you don't want to force people or pressure people, but you want people to kind of, I can't say be mindful. Yeah, be mindful of themselves, but you can't, like I said, when it comes to even, like I say, dragging the feet, right? It bothers you, but they need to know that that's no good because you're tearing up your shoes. Sometimes it's you, right? It's them, but you have to try to figure out a way that you could turn that around. Like I said before, even with the words, Anytime that somebody says something to you and they're using the words in the wrong way, you say it again and you say it over and say it correctly, sorry. Or when somebody writes you something and they write it in the wrong format or the wrong words, you write it back to them, but correctly. Sometimes we have to some correction, and they don't realize that that's what you're doing, so it doesn't become as though you're trying to be condescending, or that you're trying to come off like, you know. We never want people to take us as that. Even though we can be, and even though some of us are, like I say, some of us are. Some of us are extremely, but we know how to get down with the get down, as my grandmother used to say. So when it comes to certain things, like I say, our pet peeves can definitely take us to other places. She said, I blame everything on autocorrect. I can't. I say I blame everything on the man hands. Thank you, Seinfeld. Man hands. But when it comes to certain things, like I said, y'all need to not let a lot of things bother you, especially, like I say, when they're small things. I'm going to start taking that advice myself, because there are a lot of times that this right here, like I told y'all the other day, this right here will take me to the moon, and then big things that's going on to be like, I got that. I got that. So when it comes to us, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to learn that our pet peeves, or things, little things that bother us, right? There's a lot of little things that bother us, but we just can't let it take us to other places. That's it. And then too, sometimes you have to look at things. Remember I told you I look at everything like a joke. Right, so the joke in a lot of this too is, your friends let you come outside looking like that. Nobody told you that you was using that word wrong all of these years. Instead of popping that gum, you probably should be chewing, you know, like using mints or brushing your teeth. Instead of pointing, like I said, sometimes that pointing, to have somebody pointing at you and then pointing something out about you that you don't appreciate. When you come into the place or somebody comes in there and they start talking about something, and damn, look at the line, and damn, this line has been long. There's going to be somebody on that line to be like, shut up, you just walked in here. Ooh. She said, I have zero tolerance for stupidity. That's a lot of us. Yeah. So when it comes to certain things, I want us not to let it drive us. Like I told you, I want it to not take us to different places. I want us to sometimes, I'm not saying laugh at people, because then that does turn it into a bigger situation or a different type of situation, especially when people think that they the butt of your jokes. I've had a whole, like a janitor set of keys. Janitor set. You heard what I said? I had a janitor set of keys. And you know they got keys for every door, a window, everything. Janitor. I had that thrown at me one time for being the butt of somebody, or somebody thought that they was the butt of the joke. That's dangerous. So that's what I'm saying. Don't laugh. You could laugh on the inside. We could always laugh on the inside. Nobody don't know what's going on in there but us anyway. But as far as the outside is concerned, you might have to help them out a little bit, especially, like I said, because some people don't know better. You might have had these friends all these years, but none of your friends told you look stank in that. You should change it. Maybe you should have got a size large. Or let's go out together when you do see something that you like, try it on. Let me see what you look like. Because them funhouse mirrors and them friends that you got now really ain't no good for you. Yeah. Even dudes, like sometimes you'll have a, like you, I'm an idiot. That's gonna be one of my one of my catchphrases, right? I'm just gonna like my disclaimer. I'm an idiot. So the Hitler, the Hitler, or the blade. I don't like that. I don't. I not like it. And when you got the pushback, when like right, I got edges, right? So you can see that this is hair, it's in the thing. But when you Stevie Wonder, George Jefferson, and you still holding on, let's your friends should tell you, let's try something different. And they got weaves and stuff now for the men's. So you could always fix that. But your friends, that's a pet peeve too, I guess. When your roof is missing and why? You don't need a cornrow. You don't need nothing when you ain't got nothing going on up here, unless you plan on fixing that. If you putting something up there, that's fine, because you can incorporate this with that. Now, I told y'all the other day the girl had the wig on, and you can incorporate. But when you ain't got nothing, fellas, we need to tell our boys about that. Yeah, and like I said, the Hitler and the blade. The blade is when you shave all this off and you just got this part right there. I guess some people that's cute, but yeah. To me, it's like you forgot something. you forgot a piece. Yeah. So we should take care of all of that. Certain people don't look good with bald heads. Certain people don't look good, like I said, with this missing and everything else just hanging and flowing. It's crazy. So we should tell our friends, like I said, we should be peoples, we should be family, and we should be all of that, and we should be telling each other sometimes what's not right. Again, if you got a friend that you know you're not saying that correctly, like I said, fix that. Help them. Don't let them continue to be out there looking crazy or sounding crazy. Yeah. And let's remember that the bathroom is for body works. So it's not gonna, you're not gonna get the best aroma from a room such as that. From a room such as that. Sometimes you get the ill smells from the one that with the refrigerator and the oven. So you can imagine with the shitter, it's gonna smell like people. Right? Possibly. But thank y'all for listening to my morning banter today. This was definitely a banter, right? Because like I said, we all have pet peeves. We all have pet peeves. There are certain things, like I said, that'll take us from here to the moon, and I just don't want us to let it be too much. I don't want it to be where we're letting it take over, and just let it be that, just a little something. A pet peeve is a little something. Don't let it become a big something, right? And a lot of us, like I said, if those little somethings are things that drive you and make you do different things, then we have to stop letting those do that. That's it. Like I said, big things don't bother me. It's the little things. I have to learn to control those little things. I have to learn that, so what, his shoes is too small, that's his business. So what, her shoes are too small, that's her business. So what, she looked like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, that's her business. That's their business. That's not your business. Ooh, he just said theirs. Theirs, but he was talking about theirs. There's a truck, but he said it wrong. Oh, so I am guilty. I am guilty. I'm extremely guilty of, but I'm working on it, and I'm aware of my issue, and that's being more conscious, just here, of other people's time. My girlfriend told me that, say November, maybe October, November, that you have to be more conscious of other people, of how you use other people's time. So if somebody says to you, okay, we're going to meet at 8 o'clock, you shouldn't be like strolling in by 8:15. You know what I mean? 8:30, 8:45. The person then scheduled you in for 8 o'clock. Now, when you walk in at 8:15 and the person is not there, you can't be mad because your scheduled time was 8 o'clock. So that's the only thing with me. I have to learn to. How about, again, remember I told you about my time management. That's one of my ill skills. Meaning sick. She ain't got it. Sick. She ain't got it. But she's getting it together. Like I said, I'm conscious of the things that I'm conscious. I'm aware of all of the things that I should be doing to fix all of my issues. See, she said, not that I'm always late. Yeah, I when it comes to certain things, I'm an on-time person, or a little bit earlier. I watch Sisters, so that's one of the only Tyler Perry shows that I'm like really into is Sisters. And the girl told the lady, my Meemaw said, to be late is to be on time, and to be on time is to be early. No, when I'm on time, I'm on time. When I'm on time, I'm on time. And when I'm late, I'm late. Yeah, I'm one of those, you got to make the grand entrance. Yeah, your whole family is sticklers with punctuality. When it comes to certain things, like I said, I do take that into consideration because I know how I am when it comes to time. But sometimes I do kind of slip. But it's nothing like, I try not to make it too like, if you say 8:15, I'm gonna try at least 8:05, 8:07. I'm trying not to do 8:30. I'm trying not to do 8:30 sometimes now, depending. But I try. But again, thank you guys for listening to my morning banter today. Again, going over. Today we talked about pet peeves and things that kind of like grind our gears and work our nerves. But we're not going to let these things take over, like the big takeover, right? We're going to make sure that because we know what these things are and we kind of have a handle on these things, that we're not going to let them go from small things to bigger things, right? Although we did say that we can handle those bigger things, but we don't need to do that, right? Everything that we, as far as that step ladder, you go to that next realm and you dream, or you try to, bring it together, and then you go to the next ring. But let's not take it to the places where we feel that, like I said, it's going to be a problem. It's okay to be a peeve, but it's a difference when it becomes a problem, right? So I love you guys, and thank you for listening to my morning banter. Sorry about the chatter and things that goes on sometimes in the background today. But again, enjoy the rest of the day. Happy, healthy, safe, balance of the day to you. Hopefully you're doing something fun. Again, today's Wednesday, so I think it's supposed to be, it's looking kind of nice outside, so I'm gonna pray on that, so I can get me some sun. And it's no dig, like I told y'all before. I just be happy. I wish we could all be in the sun forever, because this right here. But again, thank you guys. Oh, yay, thank you, yay. This, as of today, I want you guys, like I said, enjoy the rest of the day. Like I said, I'm going to try to see where I can be later. I found a couple of places that, like I said, just like interesting to me. So going. So enjoy the rest of the day. Happy, healthy, safe. I will definitely be here tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be kind of but y'all still gonna take the ride with me tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow might be a little bit of everything. But I love you guys, and like I said, definitely thank you for listening to my banter. Again, without you guys, where would I be? So love. And definitely appreciation all day. See, I like it when the man hands do a good thing when it come to love. It do that. We do that. Ouch, that girl's a fool. But yay, thank you. Appreciate it. But enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, if anything, if I go out, I'll, just come back. These lives, they starting to give me issues with the lives because they're telling me that they can't hold on to them. They can't keep them. That I have to either record them earlier or I have to figure out other ways that I can keep my lives on there because they're not staying. So y'all got to bear with me because I'm probably going to have to take them to my YouTube channel that I don't use, that I've had for years, that I don't use. But we getting it together. Again, this is Rome. And it was not built in a day, right? Okay, but again, like I said, definitely appreciate you guys listening to my morning banter. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll possibly be back, and if not, like I said, I'll be here tomorrow, God willing. Sometime tomorrow, 7:05, 7:10. I will be here on time tomorrow. Okay, love you guys. And thank you again for listening to my banter. Bye.